Good morning, guys. So today is Fancy Friday, which means that I'm gonna wear a suit for absolutely no reason, but you didn't come here to hear about my suit. So let's get into it. Today we are going to talk a little bit about a few suggestions that I have for you who are just starting out and you're looking to fill out your CV a little bit, and I want to tell you a few tips about what you can do in order to impress you or get noticed by your first employer. So let's talk about that. So one of the main things that you have to realize, like I'm going to most likely make another video because I actually got one of my subscribers asked me about this. Basically, and this is, I want you to know, this is so natural. You, especially if you're still at college or if you're studying to become a programmer, you will feel this anxiety. You will feel that, all right, what can you will have this worry of, will I get a job? Will I be able to get hired by somebody, and so forth and so forth. And this is exactly why this video is being made, because I want you to know that you will get a job. And trust me, once you have it and you get a little bit of time underneath your belt in the professional world, after that, as long as you stay relevant and you can provide software to the world, you are probably the most secured position for the most likely for the rest of your life. Software developers are in such enormous demand that I'm not even going to say that I'm not going to say anything else. Let's just leave it there. But what is it that is so tough about getting in? And this is the tricky part, because when you first start out, you are unproven. Trust me, just because you know how to write code doesn't mean that everybody's going to hire you, because you still have to convince, or you have to be good enough so that people want to invest in you. As a junior, you have to remember that you are not going to be able, most likely, to provide value from day one, which means that one of two things have to be true. Either you have to you become an investment, basically. So that means that from the company's perspective, they either have to be in a position where they realize that, hey, we're gonna need to educate, we need some junior programmer to come in, and we need to invest in that person so that they become valuable to the company. Because don't shit yourself. Doesn't matter what they tell you. You are a resource. They are not hiring you because they want a new best friend. They're hiring you to do a job. And if you can do that job, that's what you're being paid. That's the idea. You should be able to perform those tasks. Now, there are plenty of companies hiring junior programmers. Don't worry about that. But the issue is, of course, how do you prove that they should pick you over somebody else? And the second scenario that is going to be true is that, all right, they're looking for somebody who has a little bit more experience, but the fact of the matter is that they can't find anybody. That's actually another very common case. The fact of the matter is that the demand is so massive that I have seen people who will simply get a candidate because they can't find anybody else. That's a little bit dangerous. And the reason why that's a little bit dangerous is because if you are a true junior, you would preferably you want to work for a company who understands that you are a junior and that you are going to need some help. But if they are just throwing you in because they just need somebody to be able to do the job and they can't find what they're actually looking for, you might be in the position where you get more pressure on you than what is kind of fair to you in the start of things. So just warning you for that. I've been there as well. I know how it is to be a junior developer in a senior developer's role. It depends on the company, but it's not fun. Anyway, let's talk about actually improving, showing a developer, a potential employer that you're impressive, or rather convincing them of this. Now, the easy part is to fill out your CV. I'll make a separate video about the CV, but what I wanted to touch on in this video is that I got a lot, my viewer gave me a suggestion about like he's building this application that vaguely described what the application was doing, and I wanted to comment on it. And basically I would like to say that if you are going into making personal projects to impress or fill out your project section on LinkedIn or whatever you use, it is very important that you don't do like Hello World applications or basic CRUD applications, because the thing is that your employer is busy. They have tons of stuff going on, and they don't have any, trust me, nobody cares about your, like in general, they don't care about your tiny little nothing applications that, you know, I make these all the time, things that, you know, I never show anybody. I don't even tell them about it, because it's just me playing around with some stuff. These basic applications are not impressive to anybody. It's not something that leaps off the page and tells somebody, yeah, this guy or this girl, they seem to be really passionate about what they do. This is really cool. There are things that do this, that very clearly communicates it, and that's what you're going for. You're going for communicating without saying it that you are interested in real software development, and you're going for convincing the employer that you know how to build real software. You can build real applications, not toy applications, not something just for yourself, real stuff. And the way you do that is through a few methods. The best, one of my favorites are: go and create get interested in something, learn a learn a tool or something that's fairly popular that you are interested in, of course, and use it to build something a little bit more serious, and then talk about it. Like you can make a presentation at one of the meetups. You see, the beauty about meetups is that if you want to present something, you can just present. You can take the angle, all right, you're not the best, you're not a super senior coder, you're not going to teach all of the people at the meetup about every single thing, but you will share your thoughts and your ideas about how to, say, use Angular or React or something like that, or I don't know, let's say Spring Boot or whatever from Java. You can do all kinds of talks. There doesn't have to be, you don't have to take the position that I'm an expert teaching some people who don't know. You can take another approach. That's one way to be active in the community and do presentations and stuff like that. Another one is to build this is probably the best one. Start your own startup. Get an app idea, get an idea for a product, and build it. Doesn't have to work out, doesn't have to become this big thing. Just build something serious that real people are using, even if it's just a handful of people. Prove that you have what it takes to write real software. And thirdly, you can have an open source project, like your own library with a tool that solves a problem for other people. But this is the key thing to take away here. Build real stuff, because nobody really cares about your Hello World application. It's not impressive, but these things, they are impressive.